If you are a beginner in fluid art, here are 10 tips to help you get started and to get through your journey. Watch till the end of this video and I'm going to include a list of essential items to help get you started. Alright, number one, you want to start with simple pours, okay? Don't get overwhelmed by all the fancy techniques out there just yet. I tried to master one technique at a time. Now, some of the more simple techniques to do are flip cups, split cups, puddle pours. Those are some good basic techniques to get you started until you get to know the paints, the consistencies, and the densities a little bit better. Number two, start with a basic mix. 1 part paint to 2 to 3 parts pouring medium. Some of the common pouring mediums that a lot of artists use are Floetrol, Artist Loft pouring medium, which you can get at Michael's. Here's a Floetrol. Okay, and as you get more experienced, you'll learn that some techniques require thinner or thicker consistencies depending on what outcome you're looking for. Ultimately, though, you should get all your consistencies with all your colors the same. And this one here is about a medium or so consistency. And this one I mixed. I believe this was a 1 part paint, about 3 parts Floetrol, but you want it to run like honey off the spoon, just like that. Okay. Number 3, start cheap. Don't go blowing all your money on really expensive brands just yet until you get a little bit more experience. You want to start places like Hobby Lobby. Every other week they have 40% off their Master's Touch brand, which is a killer sales, and those are really good paints. I think so anyways. Michael's is always having good sales as well. Every so often they do buy 1 canvas, get 2 free. You can check out places like Ross, TJ Maxx, Marshall's, and you can always find good sales there, especially on canvases. Number 4, start off with 4 to 5 colors. I made the mistake in the beginning with going up to 7, 8, even 9 colors, and my paintings were a clusterfuck. All right, but of course, I'm probably a little bit more biased towards that, but I find for most people that are beginners in fluid art, it is more simple to start off with 4 to 5 colors. Number 5. Okay, now everybody asks this in the forums, on social media. I'm noticing that a lot of beginners are having trouble getting cells. The most basic way to get cells, from my experience, is you want to add 1 drop of silicone to the colors that you want to pop up. And just know 1 drop goes a long way. Now, if you look at one of my previous videos, I did an experiment of how many times to stir the silicone into the paints. Now, the result was the more stirs, the bigger cells you get. The less stirs, the smaller the cells get. But, for example, if you're going to do a flip cup, you want to put 1 drop of silicone in each color. Okay, and you will get cells. Just don't overdo it on the silicone. Remember, 1 drop goes a long way. Okay? Number 6, know when to stop. I've made this mistake countless times in the beginning. I would pour my paints. I had this gorgeous painting and I spread it. And then I'm like, all right, what if I do a little bit more here, a little bit more here? And then I mess it up completely. So if you are happy with the painting that you have in front of you and you've spread it, no matter what technique you've done, that's a good stopping point. There'll be more paintings in the future. Don't worry. Number 7, keep records of your work. There was a mistake that I made, and it was close to the beginning when I started, and I did a chameleon cell painting. I didn't keep records, but I had a client that wanted the painting that I made, and as well as an additional one. I needed to do that additional painting, and I didn't keep records, so I had to redo that painting about 10 to 12 times before I got it somewhat right to the matching piece. So keep records. You want to keep records and take notes of the brand of paint you use, the color, the pouring medium, the mixing ratios, and of course the technique that you used. Number 8, don't be discouraged. Okay, oftentimes the painting is not going to turn out how you wanted it to, and it may not turn out to look great at all, but it's part of the beauty of this art. You keep learning with every painting that you do, so don't be discouraged. like I said in the last tip, it's important to take notes. And with every painting that I do, if I didn't like how it turned out, I will take note. I'm like, all right, what can I do in the next painting to get a certain effect that I wanted? There is a lot of trial and error with this art, and there's times that it can get complicated, and sometimes you might go out of your mind trying to figure out, all right, what did I do wrong? Why isn't this working? They did it the same way. I'm following the recipe. However, it's not turning out the same. But just remember, you're an artist, okay? You're creating it. So you don't always have to go along with what somebody else does. You could always find the way that works for you. Number 9, experiment. Don't be afraid to get your paints together and get a practice canvas out and practice certain techniques. You don't always have to try to create a masterpiece with every painting that you do. I've done a lot of experimenting when it comes to swipes, chameleon cells. That also allows me the opportunity to make any adjustments in my paint if I need to, without trying to make a master canvas and it not turning out how I wanted it to, and have wasted all this money and all this paint and all this pouring medium. So a lot of times, if you're looking for a certain effect, try to experiment first and see how it's going to turn out just by using a little bit of paint. And finally, number 10. Remember why you initially got into fluid art. You got into it because you probably saw a video and you're like, oh wow, that's so cool. And you got into it because it looked fun and it looked interesting. And it is a lot of fun. So tip 10 is have fun with it. All right, don't allow yourself to go too nuts if you don't get a certain outcome that you wanted. Some of the most beautiful pieces of art that I've seen were done so on accident. But just remember, have fun with it. And as promised, here is a list of 10 essential items. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And until next time, bye.